All right, I want to do a brief rant about self-driving cars. It's crazy to me that we decided to solve the problem of autonomous driving just to avoid the fact that we don't want to build trains and have more bus routes. Like, I understand America's like a massive country and building out a rail network and all that stuff that takes time and money and all that stuff, but really the solution to that is okay, let's do robotaxis. Let's develop a whole new technology, invest billions and billions of dollars into this autonomous driving stuff. So then we can do robotaxis. And now that we can do robotaxis, we can reuse the infrastructure that we already have for all the road systems and stuff. And now you get your own personal bus instead of having to go on a predefined route. You can go on a defined route to anywhere. So cool. I'm glad. I have nothing against autonomous driving. Full respect to all the people trying to solve that hard problem. That's a very difficult problem to solve. But we couldn't just build trains. Like, we couldn't just build the rail network. It's, yeah, it's fascinating to me how Americans come up with solutions to things. Like, I was thinking about this the other day. I was just in Atlanta, Georgia, and before then I was in Chicago. And both times I remember I was riding with someone else in the car, and I remember how like bumpy and jagged and like just not smooth the roads were. And I was like, man, we just create the cars to compensate for how bad we maintain our fucking roads. Like you just make the car bigger and bigger so that it can withstand the bumps it's inevitably gonna have to deal with because of how bad our roads are maintained. And you're just like, huh, yeah, so this is another example of that where it's like, okay, how do we over engineer the solution to this problem? I was just reading a tweet the other day that was like, oh man, think of all the productivity gains we're going to have once we have autonomous driving because all that time that you spend driving can now be used to do other work or read or etc. And I was like, yeah, again, you could have done that on a bus or a train. I remember because I'm born and raised in Chicago and I used the CTA to get to school. And I remember that was probably some of the most reading I ever did was reading like blog posts and articles while on the bus ride to school because you could do that because you weren't driving. And then the thing with driving now is that this is the benefit of audiobooks and podcasts is that now you can turn driving time into useful time. And I'm sure people had this with radio too, but with podcasts and audiobooks, now it can be more targeted. But anyway, I'm going off on a bunch of different tangents just to explain that, my God, I still can't believe that the solution is robotaxi over just to build a fucking train network. But yeah, you know, this is America. We're not going to do that. I don't know what the regulations are around stuff like that that's preventing us from building something like that. There's probably something that I'm not aware of. Similar to how we have, I forget what the act's called, but there's a certain thing related to shipbuilding and that all our ships have to be American made or something like that. That's part of the reason why it's so difficult to do why our trade is all done like through truck routes rather than using some of our uh, Great Lakes network to do more of the trading or domestic trading. There's something related to that. I'm gonna find out what that act is that I'm thinking of, and then post that. All right, you all have a lovely day. That was my rant. I will see you all next time. Bye.